What's up, guys? It's been a minute, but well, if I post this video first. But anyways, this is a 2018 SuperJet we picked up in the beginning of spring. Actually, you might have saw it. Not sure. It was a couple weeks after I got the triple from Florida. This ski also came from Florida, but our plan as of right now is to take this 2018 and remove all the guts from it and take everything from this SuperJet, as we call a fitty, that you guys have seen in other videos, put everything from this boat into that boat. So it'll be RP pole, factory pipe, MSD ignition, you name it, into this. We're probably gonna end up selling this 02. We have just too many skis and we're just trying to upgrade slowly. So this video, I don't really know what I'm gonna record, what much there is to record. I won't do a time lapse of this. I guess it's probably boring, but I'm gonna rip this motor out. Don't plan on using this motor. The reason being is I believe the motor that's in that ski is actually ported. So we're just gonna put this on the bench. There's no reason to put it in there to sell it because this is a straight up 2017 motor in a 2018. So I'd be kind of foolish to get rid of such a new motor and clean. Granted, it wasn't salt. You could tell there's not even paint left on the carbs. This was black paint. So I don't know what this motor is going to look like internally, but that's the plan for this video so far, is get this thing resurrected and put back together with all of our nice aftermarket parts. If you don't know, from a little SuperJet history, I guess, 1990 to 94, or no, 90 to 93 were square nose 650s. From 94 to 95, they were square nose 701s. And then 96 to 2007, they were all this body style. And then from 2008 to 2020, it was this. And this hole has built-in tubbies, which you might be able to see on the video, but this little step down right here. Whereas this one we had blowers and destroyers put on, and this boat also has a setback pump in it. So right here you can see the nose cone lines up perfectly, whereas, sorry for the mess in here, I'm actually cleaning, but on this ski, oops, you could tell that this one set a lot further back. You could even see it through this. So and the other cool thing about SuperJets is everyone always hates on the square noses, but from 90 to 2007, the bottom decks were all the same. It was just the fronts that were different and the tops. But hopefully the ski handles a little bit better. I also bought some Pro Watercraft sponsons. I rode I think 2016 SuperJet with these, and they handled amazingly. I bought them for that ski. I was going to modify them to put them on the 02. Glad I didn't. And I also bought a second set that I'm going to modify for my square nose. But back to this video. I'm going to yank this motor out, yank that motor out, and then put this one back in, and then leave that as an empty hole for now until I figure out what we're going to do. But I'll get into it. Well, guys, it's been a few days, actually. A big plumbing leak in my house. Dad, when you watch this, you'll remember and laugh that it's over with. But anyways, the 18 is completely stripped. I did clean it. It was disgusting, as you guys saw. I pulled even the foam out up front and cleaned it all. So this hole is getting ready to be put back together. The only thing I want to do is I want to pull the pump, swap props, do a mid-shaft alignment, then put the mid-shaft in, and then I could drop the motor in. I'm also going to tape off this engine bay, since I did clean it really nicely, and scrape all this glue off. I don't want to be chasing all the glue around in there. But I did pull every bolt too. I don't have a flashlight with me, but all the 10 mils, even up there, that, you know, this boat was in salt, and cleaned all the threads, put some lubricant into them, put the threads back in. So this boat is completely stripped. I did have to drill these rivets out. I want to turf this at some point, just not this season. just have a lot more projects going on. But I did have to drill the rivets and pull this back because since this wasn't salt, the similar metals, the E-box brackets to the aluminum E-box, you know, just like welded itself to each other. This seal that were on the firewall to block the foam, one was pulled out. You know, I felt the foam. It doesn't feel wet at all. So hopefully I got lucky that this tray didn't get saturated. I am going to fix that and put something over it. And then I also started to strip this hole. There's stuff everywhere. This hole is completely stripped. I did not clean this one yet. I'm doing this right now. Been organizing my parts on this cart. All the O2 stuff is up here. All the 18 stuff is in the middle tray. That's just miscellaneous stuff down there. But over here, again, don't mind my garage. This is the O2 SuperJet motor that's going in the 18. I had a feeling that there was a bad crank seal, and there is. You can see it's actually still bubbling. This has been sitting for probably half hour now, actually, and it's just slowly leaking. I just left it. I completely forgot about it. But I got to flip this, do crank seals. Everything else should be good. Top end was freshly new to my remembrance from when we got it, so that motor will be good. We'll rip the carbs off, clean them, and then it'll be ready to drop back into that motor. But for now, I'm probably going to call it for the day. The next step, like I said, is rip the pumps out of these, swap props, do midshaft alignments on both of these, then we can slowly assemble them. I'm also going to have someone give me a hand with ripping these poles off because I am swapping poles. You know, so that's another step. But once that's done, motors will drop back in and slowly put back together. Hopefully I can get this done within the next week and get the next 2 projects in here. My goal is this winter to legit cycle through everything and have this bay as just a work bay. Hopefully a little bit more organized once I figure out how to do this. It's the first time we've had a clean garage in a long time. And hopefully you'll see these soon in another video. 250 SX trikes. One's my dad, one's my uncle's. They haven't been ran in probably 20 plus years, so we'll get these running soon too. And I'll probably make a video out of that. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to it. Like I said, probably calling it for the night, but I'll update you when I get further along. All right, I'm just gonna jump back in really quick as a little, I guess, add-on, but I went to switch out all the stock head bolts because they're all, oh, just dropped one. They're all corroded and gross, and since this is a keeper motor, I had a bunch of stainless steel bolts. So I was putting stainless steel ones in, and when I was tightening them, not even with the torque wrench yet to spec, this bolt was completely stripped. There was nothing left of it. It was just spinning in place. So I drilled it, tapped it, helicoiled it. So when I ripped this head off, these are what the O-rings looked like. They were completely smushed and destroyed. Plus, whoever had this boat before us didn't put an O-ring around it. They literally just used Permatex. So I went out on McMaster, got the right size O-rings for the domes itself. So those are brand new. And then I bought a roll of O-ring material that's the right thickness for around the head. So I'm going to put some grease on that and put it back on. Once that's back on, I'm going to flip the motor and do crank seals. Just a little update. So I just stood my SuperJet up very safely to do the, whatever you call it, epoxying. And I realized this coolant pipe is constantly dripping water. To the point I got a decent puddle. And this screw is also dripping water. What do I do? Well, I'm not sure where I left off, but I figured I'd pick up. Yes, this is the 2018 flipped up on its tail end. I went to plug those holes and I just found some 1.5" plumbing caps that I 5200'd onto the hole. But when I stood the hole up onto its tail end so the glue didn't go anywhere, I noticed that I was getting water dripping out. You can see it's actually dripping still a decent amount. It started to drip out of my pump shoe right here, wherever the hole is right here. And it also started to leak out of the cooling lines, primarily this cooling line and not the, stock Bilge line. But anyways, my buddy said it probably had a crack in it and you should replace them with stainless steel. But before I did that, I put a cap on it and put my air compressor to the end, and I could hear the air pissing out into the tray. So, did not catch this ski before the foam got waterlogged, but I am replacing the cooling line, so I figured I would do an update. I just bought 3/8 stainless steel line and pulled the old ones out, and that's the culprit. So yes, it did have a hole. Like I said, it was your main cooling line, not the bilge line, so water was constantly getting pushed into this tray from the pump. I don't know how much water is in there. It's been sitting like this for 2 days now. It's still dripping slowly, but I'm just going to send the cooling lines on and 5200 it. And one day when I put holes in this, if I do, I'll just cut the tray. But I'm not cutting open to this right now. I got too many other projects on hand, but figured I'd do an update and show you what's going on. So, all right, guys, I'm back with the 2018 SuperJet build. It has been a while, I'm not gonna lie. The last video I took, I guess in this video, it was standing upright. That was October 31st. It is now December 18th. It's actually 12 in the morning. I polished this ski, or cut it, polished it, and then put a ceramic coat on it. So you can see it is brought back to life. Pole is swapped. Well, I guess you saw the pole swapped already. But to add to the other half, or other part of the video, if you look under the hood, you can see I have the pump aligned already. Put the caps in there. Stainless steel rod or cooling lines are back in. 5200 everything. 5200 that also. And the steering cable, you can see I did around the black slot, not the actual or steering cable itself. Hole is cleaned. Hood seal is going to go on tomorrow or whenever I go to work on this again. I don't even want to say days anymore because I don't get to it at all. But it's polished. That was the main priority because I did not want to get the hood seal all disgusting with polish and everything. What am I doing next? Yeah, so hood seal. I'm going to drill this for dual pissers. Vacuum the inside of the hole out. It was really clean. It's dirty now. Once the hole's done, I'm going to put the water box back in. It's just stock. I polished it. Like I said, pumps in. The prop came out of the 2002. Forgot what it was. Some type of Solas. Dual cooling is hooked up. Everything's sealed back here. Stock intake rate's still on it. It will have whatever's on the 2002. Gas tank's cleaned. So yeah, basically, long story short, like I said, ski's cleaned exterior wise. It's perfect. All the painter's tape's gonna get peeled off. Then I'm going to drill the dual pisser, put the water box in, put the gas tank in, drop the motor in. The B pipe is actually sent out right now, getting fixed. There's a B pipe from the hammer boat that I'm going to be building soon. Basically on the other one, the middle screw was stuck, so it's getting drilled out and replaced. So if I get it back in time, cool. If not, I'm just going to put this whole boat together for the most part and put it up in my shed minus the head pipe. But I'll get back into the video, I guess, once I got the water box and everything in. I don't really know. Like I said, it is 12 a.m. right now, December 18th. It's been a while. between school, finals, holidays, you name it. But goal is to get this done and then work on that, put that back to stock. So yeah, oh yeah, cabinets are up too. I don't know if you saw them in the last video, I don't remember, but that's the update. All right, we're finally back with the 2018 SuperJet. It's been a while since you guys have seen it. Motor's back in, fully aligned. Just got the pipe back on Friday. It's now Monday, so it's been a couple days. Me and my dad installed it over the weekend. This pipe was sent out to get the middle screw fixed. It was broken off. The guy just had to TIG weld it. He also fixed up some other pipes so you could see that that's fixed on this one. And then he did the center screw on this one. And he also did the center screw on this guy. Anyways, those are all fixed for a different build. Where we last left off, I think I just polished this whole ski. So I did end up putting the Pro Watercraft sponsons on here. Those are installed. Got a Protec ride plate from the other ski. I believe this was a R&D intake grate, which is on here. Props back in here. What else? Primers installed. Fuel on off is deleted. I just put an ODI thing on there that I'm gonna glue in. Dual bilges are ran. We were discussing where to put them. We really didn't want to drill through the side of this boat. Those were too low. Whenever you ride this ski, it would actually, there's no check valve, so the water would go back into the SuperJet hole through the bilge system. So like I was saying, we were discussing putting them up here, putting them here, and actually up here too. It would blast out from the hood. Here would blast underneath it through here. Up here was our idea that we were going to really go with, but we thought about with these that we have, that they're a little sharp, and God forbid you fell and hit your leg on that or something, you wouldn't want to cut it, or your arm. But bilges are ran, pretty slick. One's tucked all the way back there. The other one hits a 90 and goes straight out. So those are in. We did a really nice wiring system again. It doesn't go back to your battery. It goes straight up to the switch and taps in like my other blaster build to the start-stop harness, so you never will see it. We did wire in the two 500s from this boat. Tried it and blew a fuse, and one of the bilges was actually bad, so we put a brand new 800 in, so it's an 800 and a 500 rule bilge in there. What else? Gas lines are done. Again, pipe is back in. Factory settings is just 3/4 screws turned out, or 3/4 turns on the bottom. Not much else. I mean, you guys have seen the rest of the overhaul. So at some point, this ski, maybe I should say at some point, it's going to get footholds. Definitely not this year. We're going to run it, see how we enjoy it. But I just want to give an update. I was going to put a gallon of fuel in it and start it, but it still is January, and I don't really want this ski to sit for the next 3 to 4 months with fuel in the carb, since I just cleaned them. So I'd rather leave it as a fresh start for the spring. But there's really not much else to say. Everything is done and ready, done properly. When I lined the pump, I did have to put some shims in it. I had to reshim this whole motor from the factory. Nothing was done properly to my standards. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The 650's gone. Got rid of that. So I'm gonna put the hood on this, put a cover on it, bring it up to my shed, get it out of here where it could sit for the rest of the spring, and finish up on the 2002. So I will get back into it. But for now, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Sorry, this build's been jumping all around. It's taking me a lot longer than I expected with all the problems I've gone through. Like I said, I think I started this back in October, and it's now the end of January. So it's been a while, but it's been a fun build. Definitely a cool build. Probably one of my favorite looking skis now. So that's it. If you got any questions, throw them in the comments, and see you in the next one. Peace.